It is official. Development work has started on the questionable reflected straight megacity called the Line, which is portion of Saudi Arabia's most yearning extend, Neom City. A later video that surfaced on social media appears various excavators burrowing a wide straight trench within the tremendous leve within the northwest of the Middle Easterner country. Inside the trench, establishments for the city, which is arranged to be 100 miles long, are anticipated to be built. When the venture was at first declared in 2017, it reliably raised eyebrows for proposed prospers like flying taxes and robot housekeepers. Indeed, as modelers and financial analysts have addressed its achievability, individuals were persuaded that this was fair idealistic daydream venture that would never get built. But quick forward to nowadays, work on this cutting-edge megacity is presently underway. The Discharge Ramble film captures a portion of the gigantic location, appearing the introductory stages of the development of the city. The footage shows hundreds of trucks and machines working within the center of the Forsay, planning the location for development. Broad unearthing work along the whole length of the venture is presently taking place. Agreeing to already discharged renderings, the line will be 170 kilometers long, 500 meters tall, and 200 meters wide. But on the off chance that you observe the development film closely, the width of the trench that's being burrowed does not appear to coordinate the proposed estimations. The pictures that were discharged fair a few months prior appear large park regions, streams and waterfalls, sports complexes, private and commercial space interior. This enormous structure, 200 meters, is generally the measure of 2 American football pitches, and the trench seen within the Ramble film is much littler. The real measure of the line would in a perfect world be 3 times the estimate of this trench. Hence, there's reason to accept that this exhuming might fair be preliminary work for the underground high-speed transport framework that's arranged to be built underneath the length of the city. The line is apparently the foremost emotional venture within the world of architecture and development right presently. It has been planned to house 9 million individuals, and it'll be higher than the Domain State Building with an immense exquisite reflect glass exterior. The city will run totally on renewable vitality with the help of manufactured insights, with no streets, cars, or carbon outflows, making it a completely feasible city. As of nowadays, the city exists as it were on an online site and a press declaration made by Saudi sovereign Mohammed Container Salman. In spite of the garish declaration, numerous plan specialists accept that the technology for such a city doesn't exist, however. Agreeing to recommendations, the line is outlined as an arrangement of interesting communities, and they will be organized in 3 measurements of development: up, down, or across, which could be a concept known as zero-gravity urbanism. The 3 layers incorporate a surface-level pedestrian layer full of parks and open spaces, a lower surface layer, and an underground transportation spine that would consist of ultra-high-speed travel. The proposition claims that all day-by-day services would be walkable inside 5 minutes of each hub on the line, which commutes between hubs on the high-speed travel would take no more than 20 minutes. Concurring to a few specialists, these objectives are unfeasible. To bolster this level of public transport, the line would require bigger hubs competent of holding more individuals, and on the off chance that there aren't enough individuals at each halt, it would be incomprehensible to financially maintain this framework. It is additionally hazy in case the innovation for the line's travel framework exists, however. Traveling 100 miles in 20 minutes would require a speed of 318 miles per hour, which beats existing high-speed rail by a long shot. Eurostar trains in Europe travel at almost 199 miles per hour, and some of China's high-speed rail trains reach speeds of 236 miles per hour. Hypothetically, the Hyperloop innovation being created by Elon Musk seem oversee the travel, but indeed that innovation is still at least a decade absent from utilize. Sometime recently we proceed, on the off chance that you'd like to memorize more about billion-dollar development ventures around the world, be beyond any doubt to subscribe to this channel for more curiously recordings. Behind all the development, a few see this extend as the most costly publicity stunt in history, which is implied to distract the world from a cruel truth. Whereas the prevailing story is that Neom is being built on untouched Arrive, the zone is actually part of the Ruddy Ocean coastline, which has long been one of Saudi Arabia's most neglected territories. There are in fact a few towns that existed that are domestic to 20,000 individuals who are part of a roaming tribe known as the Huaytat. There's no place for them within the plans for NEOM, and in April 2020, the Saudi government arranged to require over the arrival of the Huwaited individuals who have been cultivating in this province for a few generations. One of the individuals who denied to hand over his genealogical arrival was in the long run slaughtered by the police, and before long after, his passing started a wave of criticism from human rights defenders. Exceptionally, as of late, it was detailed that 3 more individuals of the tribe, arrested for dissenting against their constrained ousting, have been sentenced to death. Whereas the powerful expulsion of inborn individuals could seem like a colossal detour, it is fair the tip of the chunk of ice. Saudi Arabia's leave climate is characterized by one calculate in specific: extraordinary warm. To counter that, the mirrors on the exterior of the high-rises will reflect warm absent from the building's interior, the line. This seem make all sorts of results, given how gigantic they would ought to be. Regions where the sun is reflected off the mirrors would twofold in warm, and any objects within the region would conceivably dissolve. Moreover, natural arranging specialists criticize the extend as they accept that the exceptionally measure and length of the reflect line will disturb the courses of transient fowls. Not fair that a few wild creatures will be uprooted and flow of groundwater stream will be influenced. Considering the line's colossal measure, it would be incomprehensible to construct a 500-meter tall building out of low-carbon materials, and building the line would require an extraordinary amount of steel, glass, and concrete. In spite of the line being free of nursery gas outflows and working on 100% renewable assets, its development would deliver more than 1.8 billion tons of carbon dioxide, which is identical to more than 4 a long time of the UK's whole emanations. This would neutralize much of the proposed green activities. In arranged to construct the line and see its completion, Saudi Arabia will got to overcome both inner and outside challenges around monetary and specialized achievability. The greatest economic challenge is that Saudi Arabia has not been able to realize much victory in pulling in money-related assets and speculation from outside governments and companies. The reason being numerous Western nations and companies boycotting the kingdom and its ruler over records of human rights infringement. Whereas the beginning arrange was to total NEOM by 2030 with an allotted $500 billion, a few reports claim that the city may not be completed until 2050, which can likely increment costs altogether. It is anticipated that the complete extend, counting the line, will fetch the kingdom $1 trillion. The extend is financed by the open speculation finance, the kingdom's imperial riches private venture support. But for dialogues with a few outside companies, counting Russian ones, Riyadh has not had victory in other monetary associations for the line. The money-related practicality of the open venture finance is profoundly subordinate on the kingdom's oil sends out, a showcase that has demonstrated unstable in recent years. In a nation where around 60% of its budgetary assets came from oil, the financing of this mega extend is likely to confront ups and downs. The venture too requires overcoming the challenges of innovation that Saudi Arabia cannot overcome alone. Following to progressed innovations in urban plan that will attract the consideration of future inhabitants of this city and speculators is crucial. Something else, the line would connect a long list of unfinished cities over the inlet. Lord Abdullah Financial City, a city and harbor with a venture of $10 billion, houses less than 10,000 individuals after 10 a long time in spite of an anticipated populace of 2 million. There's also the now abandoned waterfront extend in Dubai, the Blue City in Oman, and conceivably the foremost scandalous, Dubai's The World Islands, which are presently sinking back into the ocean. So the address remains, does NEOM offer anything that would shield it from the same destiny? This future city is still in an early organize of improvement, so it appears as well early to see in case the 100-mile-long metropolis will end it up a reality. It may be a strong activity that sets a tall bar for envisioning what the future of cities ought to see like, and as it were time will tell in the event that this is often completely conceivable. Comment your contemplations on this mega venture below. Thanks for observing and see you within the following video.